From tribal origins to bustling Santiago favorites, these iconic street foods are more than a bite, they're a street-side history lesson. Join us as we chase sizzling trade routes, family recipes passed through American kitchens, and bold culinary fusions that turn shared Tiffin into global legends, all while uncovering the secrets behind breakfast epics and Hispanic traditions that fuel hearts and highways. Ready to taste the world, one crave-worthy story at a time?
In Bangladesh, there's one street food that every single local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for over 400 years, and it's about to blow your mind. Pitha has roots in the Mughal Empire. Records show it was served at royal feasts over 300 years ago, and it's still a must-have at every Bangladeshi wedding. Made from a mix of rice flour and lentils, pitha is wrapped in fresh banana leaves and steamed for 15 to 20 minutes, a process that gives it a rich, earthy flavor. There are dozens of types of pitha in Bangladesh, each with a unique flavor and texture, from sweet coconut to savory lentil and rice. But here's what really makes pitha special: the banana leaves aren't just for flavor. They're biodegradable and can decompose in a few weeks. Pitha is more than just food, it's a symbol of tradition, family, and celebration. And it's eaten by millions across Bangladesh every single day. Have you tried pitha? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell us, what's your country's legendary street food? In Chile, there's one street food that every local eats at least once a week: the completo, a hot dog that's anything but basic. It all started in the 1960s at a busy Santiago bus stop, where a clever vendor wanted to feed hungry workers in just 30 seconds. Here's how it's made: a wiener is topped with spicy chorizo sausage and grilled to perfection. Then, it's topped with mashed avocado, mayonnaise, tomatoes, and, get this, French fries. This messy masterpiece is more than just a meal, it's a cultural icon, eaten at festivals, office breaks, and family gatherings. Completos are sold in large numbers across Chile every week, and people will travel up to 20 miles just for the best one. So, what's your take? Is this the ultimate hot dog, or just a little too much? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments. In Côte d'Ivoire, there's one street food that every single local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for several decades. Legend says it was invented by Ivorian traders who needed a portable, energy-packed meal to fuel long journeys along ancient trade routes. The process starts with cassava dough, which is kneaded and shaped into tight, bite-sized balls by hand, a skill passed down through generations. Then comes the magic: 24 hours of fermentation. This gives it a tangy, probiotic-rich flavor and removes toxic cyanide from the cassava. Over several million people in West Africa eat atik regularly. It is one of the most popular staples in Côte d'Ivoire, especially in bustling Abidjan. Workers in Abidjan consume a significant portion of their daily calories from atik, and scientists still can't explain why, but this fermented cassava dish has been fueling West Africa for centuries. In Guatemala, there's one street food that every local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for several decades. Legend says it was first made by indigenous farmers in the highlands of Huehuetenango, who wanted a portable, nourishing snack. The process is simple but precise: a corn dough mixed with cheese, wrapped in a corn husk. Each fritter is deep-fried in 230-degree oil until golden and crispy, a perfect balance of texture and flavor. Today, chichitos are sold by street vendors across Guatemala and El Salvador. Some families have been making the same chichito recipe passed down like a sacred heirloom. Have you tried chichitos? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell us, what's your country's legendary street food? In Guatemala, there's one street food that every local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for several centuries, and it uses a variety of spices, making it a rich and complex stew. Pipián was born from a perfect collision, the bold flavors of the Maya and the spices brought by Spanish colonizers, creating a dish that's both ancient and unforgettable. Making pipián is an art. The base starts with a variety of chili peppers, each adding a unique layer of heat and flavor. The secret ingredient? Toasted pumpkin seeds. They give pipián its signature nutty richness, and are the final touch before serving. Pipián is more than food, it's tradition. It's eaten at festivals, family gatherings, and even used in local love spells. Yes, love spells. Thousands of bowls of pipián are sold every week in Guatemala City, and people travel for hours just to taste it. You can make pipián with turkey or rabbit, but the real magic is in the spices. And scientists still can't explain why it tastes so good. In India, there's one street food that every single local eats at least once a week, and it's been made the same way for over 100 years. Legend says it was invented by a story passed down through generations who wanted to create a snack that could be eaten in one bite, and it took off. Watch as the puris are deep fried to golden perfection, each one just thick enough to hold the explosion of flavor inside. The secret? A perfect balance of a blend of mint, green chili, garlic, tamarind, and other spices, all blended into the tangy pani that fills the puri. It's more than just a snack, it's a cultural event. Families, friends, and strangers all share a plate of puris, breaking bread and breaking records. Millions of servings are sold every day, and in some cities, people even compete to eat as many as 30 in 10 minutes. So, have you tried pani puri? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell us, what's your country's legendary street food? In India, there's one street food that millions start their day with, and it's been around for over 60 years. This crispy lentil fritter, known as Vada, was first mentioned in ancient Tamil literature in connection with language and culture. The process is an art. Soaked lentils are ground into a smooth, elastic dough that stretches like taffy in the hands of a master chef. The secret to that perfect crunch? A dash of salt and soaked for at least 3 hours or overnight. In Chennai alone, street vendors sell in large quantities every day, and people travel miles just for the best one. It's more than just a snack, it's a South Indian breakfast legend, especially in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Rate Vada 1 to 10 in the comments. What's your country's legendary street food? In Mexico, there's one street food that every local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for several decades. This dish, called alambiques, was first made by the Aztecs using fire-roasted corn and wild game, long before Spanish colonization. The tortilla is wrapped around spicy grilled meats and roasted over hot coals until it puffs up and steams like a tiny pocket of flavor. The secret ingredient is asafoetida, a pungent spice used by the Aztecs for its intense, savory flavor and digestive benefits. Alambiques are sold in over 20,000 street food stalls across Mexico City alone, and they're a staple at festivals and family gatherings. Here's the twist: the word alambique originally meant a type of still, because the dish steams like a distillation process as it cooks in the tortilla wrap. Have you tried alambiques? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell us, what's your country's legendary street food? In Sonora, Mexico, there's one street food that many locals enjoy regularly. It's been made the same way for several decades. The exact origin is unclear, but it became popular in the 20th century, when street vendors in Hermosillo started grilling leftover meats and chilies on wire racks to keep them hot while moving between customers. Today, each Alhambra's platter is packed with 10 to 12 different grilled meats, chilies, and melted cheese, all cooked over an open flame. The magic happens with the cheese. It begins to melt at around 130 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a gooey, smoky layer that binds everything together. Alhambras are more than a snack, they're a symbol of Sonoran innovation, blending tradition with street food flair. Approximately 1,000 Alhambras are sold every day in Sonora alone, and people travel from across Mexico to taste them. And here's the twist: the name Alhambra means wire. It was originally cooked on a wire rack to stay sizzling hot. What legendary dish from your country tells a story like this? In Mexico, there's one street food that a popular dish that many locals enjoy regularly, and it's been made the same way for several decades. It all started in the 1940s, when street cooks began turning leftover meat scraps into something magical. The Alhambra was born. Today, Alhambras are made with a choice of grilled meats such as beef, chicken, or shrimp, all sizzled together on a hot plate, turning into a flavor explosion in seconds. The secret? A hot cast iron plate used to cook the ingredients quickly. It sears the flavors in just seconds. Street vendors in Mexico City sell over 200,000 Alhambras every week, and families gather around the cart like it's a tradition. This legendary dish brings people together, and it's been feeding generations for decades. Have you tried Alhambras? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell us, what's your country's legendary street food? In the Philippines, there's one street food that millions of people crave every week, and it's not what you think. Isa, grilled pig intestines, has been a beloved street food since the Spanish colonial era, over 300 years ago. Every month, a significant portion of the population eats Isa at least once, and street vendors sell tens of thousands of servings daily during peak hours. Before hitting the grill, the intestines go through a thorough cleaning process using salt, vinegar, and rice water, removing every trace of fat and impurity. This meticulous preparation is what makes Isa so tender and addictive, a test of flavor and courage for first-timers. From night markets to backyard parties, Isa is a staple, often paired with a cold soju or beer and a side of spicy vinegar. Have you tried Isa? Rate it 1 to 10 in the comments, and tell us what your country's legendary street food is. In Russia, there's one street food that every single local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for several centuries. Pelmeni started as a survival food for Slavic and Tatar warriors, eaten before battle to fuel their strength and endurance. Each serving typically contains around 10 to 12 dumplings, filled with spiced beef or pork, wrapped in thin, handmade dough. The word pelmeni may come from the Turkic bolm, meaning piece of meat and dough, proof of ancient trade routes and cultural fusion. In Siberia, pelmeni are sometimes frozen in permafrost to preserve flavor for weeks, a technique passed down through generations. Approximately 2 million pelmeni are eaten in Russia every day, and some people travel hundreds of miles just to taste the best version. And scientists still can't explain why one bite feels like 1,000 years of history in your mouth. In Sri Lanka, there's one street food that every single local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for a few decades. Kata roti likely originated in the 1960s or 1970s when tea estate workers needed a quick, hearty meal. They chopped leftover roti and mixed it with eggs and spices. Now, watch the magic. The chef heats the griddle to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, then flips the roti with lightning speed. Each chef can flip the roti over 60 times in just 2 minutes, a rhythmic, metallic dance that's part of the show. This isn't just food, it's a cultural icon. You'll find it at festivals, night markets, and even roadside stands across the island. Kata roti is a beloved dish enjoyed by many Sri Lankans daily, and some will travel over 20 miles just for the best one. And here's the kicker, the sound of the metal spatula hitting the griddle is so iconic, it's part of the dish itself. What's your country's legendary street food? In Istanbul, there's one street food that every single local eats at least once a week. It's been made the same way for decades. Fishermen have been selling their daily catch on the docks for many years, popularizing the fish sandwich. Watch this, some vendors prepare their fish in under 60 seconds. Grilled, flipped, and wrapped, it's a street food legend in the making. The secret? Freshly caught mackerel, grilled to perfection, and a simple squeeze of lemon, no mayonnaise, no cheese, just pure flavor. Balık ekmek is more than a meal, it's a tradition. You'll find it at festivals, markets, and in the hands of Istanbul's hard-working harbor workers. Balık ekmek is enjoyed by many locals in Istanbul, especially around the harbor areas. So next time you're in Turkey, Don't miss this legendary bite, and tell us in the comments, what's your country's must-try street food?